Hey there, this is Robert representing Group 1, and we will be presenting our marketing and awareness plan labeled Grow, Expand, and Connect for the Rio Rancho Highlands University campus. So, as far as the overview, they've been educating since 1995, located at 1700 Grand Boulevard. The attendance is of 500 students on campus, 248 seeking bachelor's degrees, and 301 seeking master's degrees. The undergraduate programs include accounting, business administration, early childhood, multicultural education, and those other programs there listed, as well as the graduate programs. They have a business administration program as well as a Master of Arts in Education, and all of those other programs there listed as well. So, the mission statement of New Mexico Highlands University is education through teaching, research, and service. The core values are advancement of knowledge, student success, a diversity of ideas, accessible education, community, individual well-being, sustainable practices, and multiculturalism. And New Mexico Highlands University's primary mission is to advance student knowledge and promote student success. In order to achieve all this, all members of the university community will endeavor to promote a respectful and stimulating living and learning environment. To succeed in meeting and, more importantly, maintaining these goals, we will develop an effective and efficient academic and administrative process, system, and structures to support the continuous improvement. So, just a look at the primary competitors. You can see the NMHU Rio Rancho degree program that we discussed earlier in comparison to NMSU, and you can see the difference there. They have a social work and public health program as well as educational leadership. Then you hop down to UNM, and not only do they offer a fair amount of the programs that are offered at NMHU, but they offer a lot of other different things like elementary education with concentrations in bilingual, language arts, math, and it goes on for 30 to 50 different degree offerings. And so, although UNM outperforms NMHU in the degree category, it underperforms in cost expense. UNM has a stronger curriculum with much higher costs, while NMHU makes everything a little bit more personal and it's a lot more affordable. And you can take a look at the Rio Rancho climate there and see the averages for weather and such. Now, a quick look at the pest analysis here. Politic-wise, on the political thing, we see that the city was originally constructed after AMREP purchased the land grants. Rio Rancho City Hall was opened then in 2007. Gregory D. Hull was elected as mayor in April 2014 by a runoff election to a 4-year term. Then you can see our new NMHU president that's been elected. The Rio Rancho City Council recently passed a tax increase that raised gross receipt taxes that are higher than Albuquerque. And then you can see the voter registration there and the party enrollment as of June 1st. And it shows the percentage of Democratic, Republican, and unaffiliated or minor parties there. As far as everything else, there's the economic side of things, and you can see that the total population of Rio Rancho, 93,820 people. You can see that the Intel Corporation helped the job market in 1981, and that the housing units in 2013, they averaged 53,484 units. Home ownership rate between 2008 and 2012, according to the census, was 80.7%, and the median value of the owner-occupied housing units were $183,400, as well as the persons per household, 2008 to 2012, according to the census, was 2.79. And so a look at the social side of things, you can see 3,709 square miles of uneven terrain, elevation about 5,314 feet, and they were ranked as 48 on USA Today's top 2014 list of America's 50 best cities to live in. And then the technology side of things, it's really kind of dated. I mean, it's not super far back as far as technology, but the media outlets are mostly print. Rio Rancho's Observer, the Rio Rancho Journal, as well as a cable access show that broadcasts all the government meetings. They also have a decent website for the city and a link for the NMHU branch, but it's not exactly tech savvy. So let's have a look at the SWOT analysis here. Strengths would be the low cost, small classes, offers a BA and MBA programs as well as flexible classes, and it's close to home. There's still a diversity of students. but the lack of awareness and branding could play into the weaknesses, as well as there's not enough advertising, not enough online exposure or exposure in general, no radio advertising. People don't really know where the school's at. School's not personal so much, and the internal environment could be a little better. Student activities, there's not much the international and foreign support. There's also not much of that as well. No tutoring, is poor internal service in general, and just an improvement in student help would be the biggest thing. Opportunities, though. Through these weaknesses, we could see many opportunities. So, there's a new criminal justice and sociology bachelor program that's popped up. That there could be an increase in awareness by reaching out to all these different students. Increase in enrollment, expanded programs, connect with communities. Then we have the new student target, which is the undergraduate stepper, graduate stepper, and non-traditional student. Schools target, the UNM Los Lunas, Gallup, NMSU Grants, Southwestern Indian Polytech Institute, and the Navajo Technical University, as well as more online exposure for sure, and radio exposure would be one of the other outreaches. Offering a tutoring service or veteran support, or both, would be great. And then creating a potential app for NMHU would make things a lot easier for people to socialize through, as well as stay updated with whatever is happening through NMHU and all the branches there. Strengthen labor skills for area. Foreign support, that'd be another great leap to get international support. And then you can see the statement there for recruitment. Just strategies are in higher education increasingly focus on international students and non-traditional and adult learners. So of course it's the outreach and exposure. Now threats. The threats out of this SWOT analysis would be low enrollment, you can lose funding, interest rates, the tuition fee can increase, the general economy, competitors such as at UNM, Grand Canyon, ITT Tech, National American University, University of Phoenix, NMSU, and then change in loans and financial aid regulations can play in, as well as possible technical problems for technology, trying to access D2L or any of the other online services, and losing teachers to competitors is always a threat. Now look at the market segmentation. To increase awareness and gain market share, NMHU Rio Rancho will focus on dividing the market into those three segments as we've discussed: the undergraduate stepper, the graduate stepper, and the non-traditional student. And they'll be analyzed by behavioral, demographic, psychographic, and geographical factors that are important to NMHU Rio Rancho's campus. The undergraduate stepper can be defined as a student who has attained an associate degree and has an interest in getting a bachelor's degree, or just a student who will be enrolled in junior or senior level of college. In order to target them, Rio Rancho will focus on colleges, universities, and tribal schools that have accredited associate degrees and that are within 2 hours proximity. And the majority of transfer students come from CNM because that 2+2, the 2-2 program they got going on. In addition to CNM, NMHU Rio Rancho would like to target other schools to increase awareness and, of course, to increase enrollment. And so you can see the income factors there, and poverty and low capita income are apparent, and in some areas which indicate a need for low-cost tuition. And you can take a look at the percentages and the difference of age, and as they grow, you can see the percentage that are Hispanic and that are of native, and so on. So those are the numbers there from Gallup to Albuquerque. And then we'll take a look at the Rio Rancho current advertising. Let me scoot my screen over a little bit. The current methods are primarily print. It's mostly print. You saw the Albuquerque Journal, or the Rio Rancho Journal. It's mostly newspaper based. There's minimal online exposure. As I said, that one domain that they got up, as well as the branch that you can reach for the Facebook page and such. Minimal publicity exposure, no radio advertising, and we have to increase the social media. Facebook page has got 222 members. I'm sure a lot of people got even more Facebook friends than that, and not to say that's a terrible thing, but to be able to socialize through social networks as well as primarily get exposure would help increase enrollment and make it easier for students to become familiar with NMHU Rio Rancho. So that's the interaction with the community. And there's not enough community relations and public exposure. A good example is like not everybody attending the baseball game, and the cost for one day doesn't really generate a high enough frequency reach, and the baseball attendance could be low, and the money could be invested into other forms of advertising, lasting at least 12 to 24 weeks. And they just need to heavily penetrate the market using a cost-effective marketing tools, and the school will need to interact more with college students. So with that said, the first objective is just to increase awareness. You got to increase the awareness, let them know who we are. This strategy will increase, awareness, which will eventually lead to enrollment growth. That's the primary goal. And according to Advertising and Promotion 2012, the communication effects pyramid indicates that purchase and use cannot be achieved without awareness. So that's the first thing we got to knock out. You can see the pyramid there. And Rio Rancho is at the bottom of the pyramid right now. To get to the top of the pyramid, we'll have to start with awareness. The second objective, after reminding people who we are and how to get the name out for Rio Rancho's campus, print, online, mobile, public, and other forms of communication. So it's going from analyzing, we need to address the situation of who we are and how to get our name out, and then seeing all these different routes of getting the name out for Rio Rancho. So from targeting the undergraduate stepper, the graduate stepper, and the non-traditional student, Rio Rancho will use various forms of print, online media, mobile marketing, and other forms of communication to boost the awareness. Now, in addition to societal factors that may contribute to awareness for the campaign, Rio Rancho could help boost awareness in popular Albuquerque events, such as the Gathering of Nations, the Balloon Fiesta, the State Fair, River of Lights, and the Summerfest. And in Gallup, one of their main events is the Indian Tribal Ceremonial, which draws a large crowd. And in Rio Rancho, it's the Pork and Brew, and in Los Lunas, it's the Matanza. So you can see there's all these different events that could have a nice advertising campaign, and whether it's a vinyl poster or something to that nature, as well as just putting the name out for maybe a domain name or one of the outreaches for a social media website. It can really boost awareness. With that said, the objective, the third one there, is to increase NMHU's awareness, and it has to deliver a message that is likable and establishes familiarity. The message that will be delivered needs to be different. It's got to be catchy. It's got to be memorable. So not only just awareness, developing media that we can get something out there, but making something that sticks. And so examples of a one-sided catchy message could be growing minds, expanding opportunities, connecting communities. Small big school, big possibilities, small university, big opportunities, things along these lines of stuff that will stick in students' heads or potential students' heads, and people will go, oh wow, like that's a place I wouldn't mind going. It sounds nice. It sounds like somewhere that maybe I was never even familiar with, but now I have a general interest in it. And so you can see that NMHU Rio Rancho can help get that MBA or MSW enrolled today, things such of that nature that would really excite people to want to come and not only enroll, but at least maybe even explore the campus and get more familiar. So with that being said, I think that's our last slide here. Thank you again for seeing our presentation and marketing, and I appreciate everything. This is Group 1, Robert Hedgepeth, and we appreciate